Hi guys, my name is Eric Ogle. I am a current resident here in Cheyenne, Wyoming, and I'm also a storm chaser. Been doing it for about 10 years. Well, I actually saw the movie Twister, one of the greatest movies in my opinion, and that's kind of what got me started. You said, as a young kid, I was absolutely petrified of tornadoes, but then as I started watching the movie more and started talking to people, I was like, dude, this is awesome. This is what I want to do for the rest of my life. I went to school for atmospheric science at the University of Wyoming, but prior to that, I had also been kind of like looking at weather models and storm models and stuff like that to kind of start integrating myself into what I need to learn. But I went to the university, obviously, and I learned a lot more there, kind of how to forecast, how to, what to look for, how to be as effective as I can. Basically what you have to know is you have to make a forecast at least a couple days in advance. You have to know kind of the elements of what causes a tornado. You have to know kind of where you go, where your roads are. You also have to be able to make an escape route, just in case the tornado comes straight at you, because that can happen very, very quickly. You also be talking with people, seeing what they're going to do, where they're going to go, just kind of set yourself up in that way. Go with somebody and actually learn from them. It's kind of like any other job. Like if you go out there, if you just want to go out there and see a tornado and you don't have the mechanics of it, you are actually not only putting yourself in danger, but the people around you in danger. Especially with the amount of videos that are coming out where people are just going out there and they think that they can do what these scientists are doing, and that's not the case. You have to know, you have to be able to forecast, you have to be able to kind of have an escape route. So like I said, just go with somebody. Okay, so what we had is we had a really strong low pressure system that was kind of making its way eastward. As it made its way east, we also saw winds at the surface that were coming from the southeast, and at the loft during the jet stream we had winds coming from the southwest. The winds that came from the southeast actually pushed in a lot of moisture. This typical setup was probably something that you would see in like Oklahoma, Texas, Arkansas, somewhere around there, but seeing as how a low pressure system was strong, it came up here. We also had a lot of energy. We also had lots of what we call wind shear, which is turning of the winds with height. It's basically if you have different wind speeds coming at different levels, when they interact like this, they actually are able to rotate in the horizontal direction, we had just had enough powerful storms to create this type of situation. Almost every single storm that we had that day went tornado one. There was tornadoes dropping everywhere. It's like a game of Pac-Man. There were 600 chasers out there, there were a lot of us, and it was like I said, it was like a game of Pac-Man where you're trying to chase a ghost. It's just the question of where these tornadoes were going to form. Whoa, that's actually a really good question. Sometimes it's the terrain, because we're in a very, very different spot than what you would normally see, like in the plains. Definitely, I would have to say the most difficult part is that these models can change so quickly, and that there's so many different models out there that it's hard to choose really a good one. That's why I look at like 4 to 5 to just kind of make sure, kind of verify stuff is going on. And yeah, it's just the terrain for me. The craziest thing that I was seeing when I'm out and about was actually this past week. I started off in Wheatland. We had, like I said, about 600 chasers, so this was actually a really big day. We started off going north, drifting up north because there was a storm to the north that was rotating actually really well. Saw some stuff, some wall clouds. The wall cloud is an indicator of where the tornado is actually going to form, if it does. But then it started dissipating, so I immediately bolted south, and as I got south, I started seeing hail this big, about baseball size hail approximately. And then after that, I pulled off to the road and I looked over to my left, and there was a tornado forming. That was the Cheyenne one. It's approximately 11.5 miles north of Cheyenne. So that was kind of crazy. Lots of lightning. I've been hit with hail to the point where I can't see where I'm sitting to where you're sitting. I've also had funnels come over my car and just, yeah. I also saw a lot of people on the side of the road this week, so that was kind of crazy too. I just went over there to make sure they were okay physically, and but obviously they were pretty shaken up, so they started asking questions of where to go, and I told them where to go, and just kind of just take it nice and easy. Well, as we've already seen, we already had our first outbreak. I'm hoping to see at least a couple more tornadoes, which I do think are going to happen, because if you take a look at how the snow season went, the winter season, our snow lasted until about May, mid part of May, late part of May. So what I think is happening is just shifting it backward, or shifting it forwards a little bit. So what I mean by shifting it forwards is that normally our tornado season is from late May to early June, but as you can see right now, we've had that past Monday we already had a really big tornado outbreak. Typically not right around where we normally would see it, so I think it's going to kind of shift it. So I'm expecting at least a couple more tornadoes, some more severe weather. I would like to actually give a shout out to the National Weather Service and all the other storm chasers out there. I just want to say you guys did a great job of forecasting, and I think it's important. I would say that this was one of the biggest days of the year throughout the United States, so they did a really good job.